All right, everybody, I have some good news for you all and some bad news for you all. The good news is that I have safely made it through airport security. I made a video earlier today talking about how I was kind of stressed out about the idea of waking up very early, showing up to the airport a few hours before I was supposed to, and getting through in an efficient and streamlined manner. It was just stressful, to be honest, because I have a lot to do today. I'll be on CNN tonight with Abby Phillip at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, so I was hoping that there wasn't any hiccup in the airport. And the good news is there was no hiccup in the airport. I did, however, run into some ICE agents, see some ICE agents, talk to them for a minute, and I want to share with you my observations at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. First of all, the bad news, to match the good news, is that Steve Bannon just came out saying that this airport deployment of ICE is a quote-unquote test run for ICE at the polls. And this is something that we've been worried about and talking about on this channel for a while, that Trump will try to hyper-militarize certain blue cities or certain blue areas right around election time, specifically and intentionally around election time. This would follow a string of undermining elections in the form of redistricting, getting Texas to redistrict and trying to steal the midterms that way. What about the 2020 election, which he just made up straight up lies about over and over and over? And this is the newest desperate tactic. They decided, we're not going to change our policies. We're not going to try to fix the economy and make things more affordable. Why don't we just rig the midterms? Why don't we just do that? So Steve Bannon is out there admitting that this is a test run for ICE at the polls in November. I do want to point out, Steve Bannon is known as sort of a shit stirrer. He goes out there and says things all the time that are meant to distract and meant to flood the zone. But there is a kernel of truth in this, and you can tell by what's going on today in the airport. So as always, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed to help boost this channel. We're getting closer and closer to 2 million followers because of you all. And again, tonight, I'll be on CNN Newsnight with Abby Phillip debating probably this very issue and the issue of Iran and everything else in the news cycle. So make sure you're there. And let me just jump in with my experience. So starting off at the beginning of the day, I've gotten pretty comfortable with travel due to my job over the past few years. I was not super big into traveling before I took on this job, but really over the past 6 months, I've been flying around a lot for events and panels and CNN debates that you guys have seen, stuff like that. And I've gotten a lot more comfortable and better at the process, streamlined the process. And now I'm not as stressed out as I used to be. I used to get very, stressed. The process is very stressful. Airports are stressful, right? This morning I woke up and it was the first time in perhaps a year or two where my heart was racing and I couldn't fall back asleep because of the travel that I had ahead of me and because of the situation that I had seen online at the airports. We're supposed to live in a country where things are streamlined, safe, effective, and affordable, and it's not good that I'm waking up in the morning and not knowing if I can take out I can take care of my business for the day because of the stress, because of what I'm seeing going on online. So yeah, I will say it took its toll this morning. When I woke up, I laid in bed for a bit, was thinking about how I wanted to approach this day. I knew I had to do it strategically, and then I got up, made the video that you guys probably saw this morning, and headed to the airport. Now, when I got here, quite literally, as I was walking in, I did see ICE agents helping TSA at security, which I found to be kind of odd. Like, listen, even if you remove the ideological opposition to ICE that I currently hold and I've held for a while, even if you remove my preconceived notions about ICE from videos on the internet, just remove all of that for 1 second. It seemed out of place due to the training. It seemed like they were given instructions just this morning to say a line over and over, and that was basically the extent of their job. So imagine my shock when I walk up to the TSA area and there's an ICE agent saying, put your bins in the tray, make sure your drinks are out of your bags, no drinks going through security. That was their job today. And I was thinking, okay, a few things. First of all, you clearly just were told to say these lines this morning. This is not due to some training that you had. You didn't have some full course that TSA agents take to make lines more safe and more effective. You were clearly just told what to say this morning, and that doesn't make me feel more safe and more effective. Secondly, I was thinking, we have the money for this. We're able to allocate the money so that ICE can go towards airports across the country, but we don't have the money to allocate directly towards these TSA agents themselves. And then I realized, of course, wait a minute, we do have the money. We have the revenue to allocate towards TSA agents. The problem that we're facing right now is that the Trump administration wants to make sure there is zero accountability for ICE whatsoever. And now it's so out of place. It's so incredibly out of place. If I'm going to the mechanic to get my car fixed and I see my friend working there that I know for a fact just graduated high school and works at McDonald's as well, I'd be like, listen, there's nothing against what you do, but you're the one fixing my car right now. You're not the one trained to fix my car. That's how I felt walking to the airport. It's like, wait a minute. We have these agents who are undertrained, usually masked up and too violent, and they're the ones that are supposed to be safely and effectively guiding us to the airport. And you want to know, just to get personal for a second, I'm a white dude, so I wasn't really super scared of the ICE agents themselves, but right behind me there was a Latino family, and I'm trying to speak quietly now, but right behind me there was a Latino family, and they looked visibly nervous. They had a woman in a wheelchair. I'm assuming their grandma, their Latina grandma, was in the wheelchair. They all looked a little bit nervous. It's probably nerve-wracking going through airport security, which is already stressful, and then seeing people with ICE badges across their chest, and then all I see when I open the news is that Bannon is saying this is a test run for future ICE deployment at polls. Of course, this video has gone incredibly viral, which is partially funny and partially scary. We've got an agent looming over the shoulder of somebody working, a TSA agent. She looks done with it. She's like, I don't need this guy's help. I am so sick of this guy. He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, which only bolsters my theory that they're just deployed here, given a small set of instructions, like, hey, maybe just stand around and repeat these lines a few times throughout the day, and that is it. That is the extent of the training that is given, which is obviously not a good indicator. So that has overall been my experience, and I honestly just think it is antithetical to what America is supposed to represent. America is supposed to represent freedom of movement, freedom of access, the ability to walk around in public and not be intimidated by police forces that are standing around. And when I see intimidation type police forces at the airport, it makes me wonder what's going to happen at the polling station coming in November. And the reason I'm talking really quietly, guys, is because I have people walking past, including ICE agents walking past. So I'm not trying to talk shit to ICE agents as they're here, but I just want to end this off by saying tonight I'll be talking more about the fact that we are deploying 2,500 Marines to the Middle East, 2,000 sailors to the Middle East, 3 amphibious ships to the Middle East, and 3,000 paratroopers to the Middle East. This ties in perfectly because my entire point over the past month has been that the world, and especially America, is a less safe place due to the actions of this administration. Every single day it becomes a more dangerous place due to Russia getting more means to strike Ukraine, Iran getting rich because we're lifting oil sanctions, prices going up across the globe and across the country, and now we have escalation in the airports of the United States. Either way, I'm going to leave it there. Thankfully, my security line when I walked into the airport wasn't too long, but that was a relief, and I'll leave it there. I'll see you all tonight on CNN at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be in DC. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video, and peace out.